Another year has passed. Time flies when you're digitally hoarding trophies and wondering if your life choices are actually just QuickTime events. This year brought its fair share of memorable moments in trophy hunting. The good, the bad, and the why did I even bother moments. But hey, I came out of it with a total of 32 shiny new platinum trophies, which is 12 more than last year. Apparently, I leveled up in procrastination. Oh, and there's a video link here if you want to witness the glorious chaos. Watch it or don't. I won't cry. Probably. Just like last year, I'm going to recap all the platinums I achieved, give you my uncensored opinions, the good, the bad, and the games that made me wish I had a time machine to warn past me. What did I love? What did I loathe? You'll find out, and then you can jump into the comments to brag about your own platinum haul, mock my picks, or share your favorite rage quit moments. Oh, and while you're at it, smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, as that would be really awesome. So, welcome to part 1 of my platinums for the year of 2024. The first game I dove into this year was Robocop Rogue City, and wow, what a way to kick off the year. I got to bring peace and order to the glorious chaotic streets of downtown Detroit, because who doesn't want to live out their inner cyborg fantasies, am I right? Developed by Teyon, the same masterminds who gave us the Terminator Resistance game. Yes, that one. They clearly know a thing or two about nailing movie lore and transforming it into a video game. And honestly, I can't wait to see what they do next. Rogue City really knows how to make you feel like the Tin Man himself, only instead of if only I had a heart, it's more like if only I had a flawlessly executed cyborg armor and a really big gun. The story is engaging, though the dialogue and some of the voice acting could be improved. The gameplay is satisfyingly punchy. Literally, I think I punched my way through at least half the game, and the trophy list, well, let's just say it was a fun ride to 100%. No rage-inducing challenges here, just a nice stress-free game that actually made me feel like I was making Detroit a little less of a nightmare. If you're into being a robot law enforcer, smashing through corruption and walls, and making murderous robots and evil corporations wish they'd never been born, then this is definitely one you should consider picking up. Highly recommended. So, back in the day, I played the first 3 Assassin's Creed games, and let me tell you, I love them. I was hooked, jumping off roofs, stabbing guys in the back, and thinking I was a master of parkour. Spoiler, I was not. But then, like a relationship gone sour, I fell off the Assassin's Creed wagon. And honestly, it wasn't just for me. The game started getting bloated and grindier than my grandmother's mincemeat pie. Looking at you, Valhalla. But when Mirage was announced, promising to return to the simpler days of the series, I thought, hey, why not? Let's see if this old flame still has some spark. And sigh, the story was a whole lot of meh. Nothing to write home about. The gameplay? Okay, I guess. It was like an old pair of jeans, still fit, but you're not really excited to wear them. The trophy list? Grindy, but not the type of grind that makes you want to throw your controller out the window. Looking at you, Origins. Still, too many collectibles for my taste, and it's made even worse by the fact that some of them are hidden on the edge of the map, like they're playing a game of find the needle in the haystack. All in all, Assassin's Creed Mirage doesn't totally miss the mark, but it also doesn't hit it out of the park. It definitely puts the ass in Assassin, if you know what I mean. Not terrible, but not great either. Just kind of existing. Like a familiar face at a reunion you'd rather not talk to. Tuum is a photography game, and it's a little gem that came free with PS Plus many moons ago. It had been sitting on my to-do list for a while, mocking me with its cute art style and promise of a simple fun time. Until one day I finally said, enough is enough, let's do this. So I bunkered down and decided to actually get it done. With a guide, because let's honest, who actually wants to explore a game with zero clue what's going on, it'll take you about 3 hours to unlock everything. And let me assure you, a guide is not just recommended, it's essential. Otherwise, you'll be spending way too much time running around trying to figure out where the hell you need to go and where you left your camera, which is pretty much the whole point of the game. I actually had a good time with this lighthearted platinum. It's the kind of game you can play when you're looking for something chill, where the worst thing you'll face is taking the perfect photo of a random loose goat. It's not going to rewrite the rules of gaming, but if you're in the mood for something adorable and easy, TWIM is definitely worth a shot. I first played Onimusha Warlords back in the day of the OG PlayStation 2. You know, back when Resident Evil was the blueprint for every single game. Now, imagine Resident Evil, but with samurai and demons. You're welcome. Onimusha is one of those games I can't shut up about. A true gem, and I'm a massive fan of the series, and I can't praise it enough. I mean, come on Capcom, let's get a remake already, and while you're at it, Dino Crisis needs a reboot too. Get on it Capcom, you're killing me here. As far as the trophy list goes, nothing is really insanely hard, but don't think you're just gonna breeze through it just like a tourist in an empty zoo. There are several trophies that might make you sweat a little. A few standouts, including completing the game on normal without upgrading your sword or jewels, completing the game without healing, because who doesn't love a little self-torture in the name of achievements, finishing the minigame Omni Spirits, it's like a secret exam you didn't study for, and of course completing the game on ultimate difficulty, because why not turn it up to 11? Pro tip, don't even think about taking on the hardest difficulty until you've cleared the minigame. Why? Because it unlocks the best sword in the game right from the start, which makes your life so much easier. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Oh, and I'm just remembering that water puzzle. You know, the one where if you don't solve it, you die? Yeah, that was a special kind of frustrating. It literally made me question my existence for a good few minutes. To wrap it up, Onimusha Warlords is a good game with a decent amount of challenge and one particularly annoying puzzle that will haunt your dreams. But hey, it's a classic. Just make sure to save regularly. You'll be grateful when you're not having to repeat the same stupid water puzzle for the 10th time. Fighting for freedom never felt so satisfyingly chaotic. When Helldivers 2 was first announced, I didn't even give it a second look. I mean, who has time for another live service, right? Right? Then the trailer dropped, and holy mother of God did my opinion turn on a dime. It's basically Starship Troopers with a fresh coat of paint. And if you're anything like me and love the movie from back in 1997, because let's be real, who didn't, this game is pure gold. I managed to recruit my friends HD Guy and Gola into the squad of Roughnecks, and let me tell you, we had a blast gunning down aliens like we were making a Starship Trooper sequel no one had asked for. The trophy list is pretty doable with randoms, but there are a couple that might require you to organize a squad that's more focused on objectives than just running in and gunning everything down. Still, it's one hell of a game. Literally. It's the type of experience that makes you want to shout for Super Earth and then realize you're actually just a small part of a massive war simulation. And for what it's worth, I still have this game installed on my PS5 because I'm not over the bug smashing mayhem and I'm not sorry about it. Another game that was free on PS Plus, Hello Neighbor 2. It actually turned out to be a wacky and crazy little ride if you're looking to go for the platinum. It can be done relatively quickly, around an hour give or take, because who doesn't love short and sweet platinums, right? But be warned, the final boss and level can be a bit of a pain in the neighborhood. Honestly, a guide is a definite must. Some of the puzzles in this game are just out of left field. Crazy. It's like the dev team sat around going, okay, let's make sure the players won't even know what hit them. Without a guide, you'll be spending way too much time running around like a lost puppy, wondering what in the world is going on. So if you're looking to be the most efficient neighbor in the world and don't mind a little extra hand-holding with a guide, then this platinum is yours for the taking. Not a bad way to spend an hour, but you'll be glad it's over before you run out of what is happening moments. One of the several games I was gifted this year by devs, short and sweet and nothing much to add to this. Trophy hunting wise, Resident Evil 7 is actually a pretty solid time if you're not too easily scared. that is. On hard mode, you're going to face some boss battles that might make you sweat like a tense job interview, but don't worry, there are ways to cheese it, because who doesn't love finding little cheats to tip the scales in your favor? When I went for this platinum, I followed a guide from the very start, and you know what? Thanks to that, I only needed 2 playthroughs. That's right, 2. No need to waste your life repeating stuff, correct? Optinude's guide was a lifesaver, making the whole experience way more enjoyable than it would have been otherwise. Honestly, without that guide, I'd probably still be stuck in the basement crying for my mommy. As for the game itself, Resident Evil 7 really wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, I'd prefer my evil with less psychological and more mindless action. Thank you very much. But hey, the gameplay is tight, and if you're looking for frights, Resident Evil 7 delivers. There's no lack of creepy crawly moments that'll make you look over your shoulder for days and clean up any mold you see immediately. Overall, it's a solid platinum to add to your list if you can survive the terror, of course. I know I didn't win any bravery awards, but hey, I made it out alive. I came across this platformer in the second-hand bin where all the what even is this games go to live out their final days. At the time, I didn't have much else to play, so I thought, why not, let's give it a shot. And you know what, I'm actually glad I did. It's a short and sweet platformer with a decent trophy list that actually offers some challenge with the time trials. Because who doesn't love racing against the clock like it's some kind of personal grudge match? It's not going to change the platformer game forever, but it doesn't need to. Sometimes you just want a game that's fun without having to think too hard. The best part about it being short is that it doesn't have time to overstay its welcome. No endless stretches of why am I still playing this moments. The charm stays intact throughout, and the whole experience is enjoyable without feeling like a chore. It's basic, it's cute, and it's a fun time, but don't expect it to be a landmark in gaming history. Still, if you're looking for a quick, light-hearted platformer, Marsupilami Hub Adventure has got you covered. I started playing Resident Evil 5 on and off at first, but once I really got into it, I loved every second of my trophy hunt through Zombified Africa. Seriously, it's like a vacation if your idea of a vacation includes shooting zombies, unlocking collectibles, and death stare intense action. Once again, Optinude's guide came in clutch, especially for the collectibles, because let's be honest, some of them are so well hidden that you'll think the game is messing with you. Oh, it's just behind this wall, you'll think. Think again. If you don't have a guide, you're going to miss more than half of them. Upgrading all the weapons is a bit of a grind, but it's doable. It's more like, let's see how much pain I can endure for this one trophy, kind of doable. And when it comes to completing the game on the hardest difficulty, pro tip, don't even think about taking the AI as your partner, if possible. Trust me, you're going to want a friend to help you out. I streamed this with my good friend Gorilla, and we had an absolute ball. Nothing beats the camaraderie of blasting through zombies together. Overall, it's a fun action-packed ride with a few challenges that will test your patience, but if you've got a friend who's down to join the zombie slaying, you're in for a great time. Another game that I played back in its day, but this time I decided to revisit the small town filled with foul-mouthed children and parents who should have been reported to social services ages ago, all in the name of getting that ultra rare platinum trophy. Now, back when I first played it, I actually managed to achieve most of the trophies off the bat. So the second playthrough was pretty easy, just a little recap and focusing on the stuff I missed. Still, this isn't a game that hands you the platinum on a silver platter. It's not too difficult, but don't expect to just waltz through like a walk in the park either. Some of the battles on hard mode will definitely have you pulling your hair out, sitting in a corner, questioning your life choices, and Google searching how the hell do I beat this. My biggest piece of advice, don't just rely on brute force. That will get you nowhere fast, unless you want to get angry and throw your controller across the room. Focus on attacks that do damage over time, multiple ones if you can. This will make those harder fights much easier. Think strategy over all-out attack, and you'll be thanking me later when you're not yelling at your screen. It's a fun game full of that classic South Park humor, and while it can get stressful at times, the overall experience is totally worth it. Just remember to pace yourself and keep a comfy chair for those rage-filled moments. I was pretty interested in Klonoa Phantasy Reverie series when it first was announced, but after seeing some of the gameplay, I wasn't exactly blown away. You know that feeling when you think this might be fun, but then you watch a little more and think, I'll wait until it goes on sale? Well, that's exactly what happened. A few months later, it's on sale, and I think to myself that no time like the present. It's 2 games in one, but only 1 platinum trophy. I do love my platformers, but Klonoa just didn't do it for me. The trophy list is fine, and here's the kicker. There's a collectible in the second game that is practically impossible to get solo. Yes, you heard that right. You're going to need a second controller to even reach it. And let me tell you, I found that infuriating at the time. Like, come on game, some of us don't have multiple controllers just lying around for the sole purpose of grabbing a random collectible. So while the game has its moments and I can see why some people would love it, I just can't get behind it. If you're a platformer fan who's looking to earn a platinum and you've got extra controllers to spare, then maybe you'll enjoy it more than I did. For me though, it was a hard pass after the collectible BS. Another gifted game and another short and sweet platinum. After getting the platinum for the sequel, I knew I had to go back and get it for the original Stick of Truth. And let me tell you, it was much easier than the sequel, difficulty-wise. That is, I'm talking a walk in the park compared to some of the battles on hard mode in the Fractured Butthole. However, what I quickly learned was that collectibles, like the Gym Pokemon, are missable after a certain point is reached. Of course, I didn't know this until I was already well into the game, and then, oh look, now I have to do a whole nother playthrough just to get these damn Gym Pokemon. Annoying? You bet. But you know what? The gameplay and story here are well worth it. I mean, who doesn't love getting deep into political intrigues of a mystical world run by kids with way too much time on their hands? If you're a South Park fan, you will love these games. The humor, the chaos, the absurdity, it's all here. Just prepare to have a little more patience than you expected. Another free PS Plus game that had me thinking, hey, why not give this one a go? And boy, was I wrong about thinking this would be a quick and easy platinum. Imagine Zelda, but if Zelda had a sick sense of humor and decided to just throw you into a nightmare of confusion. You're going to need a guide for this one. Don't even think about going in blind. Without a guide, you're going to be running around like a headless chicken trying to figure out what the hell you're supposed to be doing and where the collectibles even are. It's not a cute little escape, it's a full-on I've made a huge mistake moment at times. With a guide though, you're looking at around 3 to 4 hours to platinum, so it is doable, but only if you're willing to commit to the godsend that is Optinude's guides. Because Jesus Christ, trying to figure out what needs to be done without that guide would be like trying to read a book in a language you've never heard of. I can't even imagine the people who did it without a guide. Madness. Let's get all these types of games out of the way, shall we? All these games were gifted to me, and if you're familiar with these, you can probably guess the type of games we're talking about. These are the ones that give you a platinum for basically breathing. Not much effort required, but hey, it's a platinum trophy, right? I've got nothing against these games per se, they definitely have their time and place. For example, when Resident Evil 4 came out, I really wanted it to be my 100th platinum, but of course Platinum 99 was taking a bit too long. So I grabbed a quick easy game like Stormboy to just knock out Platinum 99 and move on to the good stuff. Long story short, even though I've received more of these types of games over time, I've decided to just keep them to the minimum now. They've served their purpose, but I'm focused on games that offer a bit more challenge and, well, a little more substance. I do thank the developers for sending me these codes, it's been fun, but I think I'll be passing on the next round of gifted titles. So that is it for part 1, look out for part 2, which will be coming out very soon. Once again, thanks again for watching, like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all very soon. PTR out.